Alright guys, welcome to class today. Today we're going to focus on back bends. So we're going to do some belly back bends, we're going to do some standing back bends, we're going to do some on your back bends. So we're going to spend a lot of time opening up through the shoulders and the hips, strengthening through the legs, all things that are really important for achieving good back bends so that we don't just dump into the lower back. We actually get the back bend coming through the whole spine. If you know that you're super tight through your shoulders, or if you're a little bit newer to some of the back bends and you want a little bit more stability, grab yourself a strap, have a loop in it that's about the distance of your shoulders. So if you pop the loop above your elbows, you want to have your arms about shoulder distance apart. That's a fairly good measure for that. So we're going to start in sitting today. So come to a comfortable cross-legged or kneeling position. Let the palms come up towards the sky. Close through the eyes and take a nice deep cleansing breath in. And let it go through the mouth. One more like that to settle into your space. In through the nose. And then out through the mouth. And then start to breathe in and out through the nose. If you practice Ujjayi, bring a gentle constriction to the back of the throat. Make your breath audible. And take this time to set an intention for your practice, something to come back to. That may be, I want to stay grounded, I want to feel good in my body, I want to accept whatever comes, whatever it may be for you. Hold on to that intention as you go forward in the practice. Take 2 more breaths here. And then blinking open through the eyes. Hook the thumbs, take an inhale, start to reach the arms up and overhead. And come up as far as you can without puffing the frontal ribs forward. So think of growing long through the back body as you draw the front ribs in. So a huge part about twists is getting length. You want to get length before you twist. And take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, keep the hips as they are. You're just going to start to turn the torso towards the right. So you might not get very far. I'm super stiff in through my upper back, so I have almost no rotation. You might be able to go a lot further than me. You might not be able to go far at all, and that's fine. Just accept where you're at and be honest with yourself. Inhale back through center, and then exhale, lower the arms. And you're just going to cross the legs in the opposite direction and then hook the other thumb on top, and same thing, inhale, reach the arms up and overhead and take it to the point where you feel like you can't go any further without puffing the ribs, and then grow longer through the back body. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to twist towards the left. And keep those thumbs pulling apart from each other to feel the wideness in through the upper back. Feel it lengthen your spine. And then inhale back through center. Exhale, take the hands down. Roll over your legs, and come into all fours. We'll take a couple of rounds of cat-cow, ground through the hands. Inhale, think of peeling the sternum forward through the gateway of your arms as you reach the tailbone up. And then as you exhale, curl the spine, think of the tailbone rounding towards the nose. Look towards the belly. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. come to neutral. Inhale, reach the right arm forward as you reach the left leg back. Try and keep yourself in the midline, keep the pelvis even, and think of a game of tug of war, your right arm reaching forward as your left heel reaches back. And then choose to stay here, or you can start to bend through the left knee, reach back for the left ankle with the right hand, and then push the hand into the foot. Push the foot into the hand, opening up through the shoulder, trying to bring the back bend into the upper back. If you have a hold of the foot, inhale, slowly release back to spinal balance, and then exhale, all fours. Inhale, reach the left arm forward and the right leg back. Same thing, keep in the midline, keep the pelvis nice and even, and think of a tug of war between your left hand and your right foot. And then choose to stay here or bend through the right knee. Reach back for the foot. If you grab the foot, push the foot into the hand, opening up through the left shoulder. And think of the sternum reaching forward. Gentle lift of the lower belly to support the lower back. If you have a hold of the foot, inhale, slowly release to spinal balance, and then exhale all the way down. Take yourself a little bit further back on your mat if you don't have a whole lot of room. Keep your hips above your knees, and then you're going to start to walk your hands forward as far as is comfortable. You can take them off to a slight angle towards the corners of your mat if you want to, only if it's comfortable. And then you're going to start to sink your chest down towards the mat for puppy pose. So you might get a couple of clunks and clicks in your shoulders. That's okay, as long as it's not painful. And you might bring your chest down, you might bring your forehead down. Just depends on the openness in your shoulders and your upper back. What I want you to aim for though is length. So ground down through the hands as you stretch the hips backwards, sinking the hip down, or sinking the chest down. Sorry. It's going to be one of those days. And then slowly start to walk your way back up to all fours. Center yourself slightly on the mat, tuck the toes, and shift the hips back and up into downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths just to pedal through the feet. Maybe wiggle the hips side to side. And then eventually coming into stillness. Nice even grounding through both hands, shoulder distance. And then take a bend through the knees, generous bend. Think of reaching the hips further back, lengthening through all four corners of the torso. And then keep that length as you start to slowly straighten the knees. So the knees might not come very straight at all, and that's fine. We want to get more of the length in through the spine as opposed to the hamstring stretch here today. Take an inhale, look forward, and then slowly start to walk your feet all the way up towards your hands. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow and just let yourself ragdoll for a couple of breaths. Bending and straightening through the knees, waking up the hamstrings. And then come to stillness. Bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, reach the sternum forward for Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. So this is a very overlooked back bend. It's very good for strengthening the upper back as well. So bring your attention to the front of your shoulders and think of drawing them away from the floor. So feel the shoulder blades move onto the back without jamming them. And then with that, feel the sternum lengthening forward as the tailbone lengthens backwards. Take 2 more breaths. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms off to the side, raise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Come to the top of your mat, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg steps, knee up or down. Exhale, plank, knees up or down. Hold the breath, lower to the belly. Inhale, tops of the feet, peel the chest, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or hike the right leg forward. Exhale, left meets right. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg steps. Exhale, plank. Hold the breath, lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, elbows draw back, peel up, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or hike the left leg. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right. Exhale, plank. Hold and lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, dog. Inhale, right. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left. Exhale, plank. Hold and lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, dog. Inhale, left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale. Two more each side. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale. Last round. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Hold and lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. Inhale. Slight change. Exhale. Inhale, right. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, raise up. Low lunge. So here you can hook your thumbs again and think of pulling the thumbs apart to broaden through the upper back. Think of growing out of the pelvis to really lengthen through the spine. Your back toes can be tucked or your foot can be flat to the floor, but I want you to feel an opening through the front right hip. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, you're going to bring your right hand down to the inside of the left foot. And then if you need a strap, you can loop it around your back foot. Otherwise, you're going to reach for the right foot with the left hand and start to pull the foot in towards you. You can grab from the outside too, if that's more comfortable and if you have the flexibility. Wherever you are, think of opening through the chest. So we're getting a twist as well as opening up through the right quad, right hip flexor. Inhale here. Exhale, release the leg, plant the left hand, step it back to plank, and then lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, hands are directly underneath the shoulders, and then bring the forehead down to the mat. So press really strongly in through the fronts, in through the top of the feet, so that you feel the knees lift. And then draw the lower belly up so that you feel the belly draw away from the floor, but the pubic bone still presses. And then draw the shoulder heads away from the floor. So now everything is lifting except for your forehead, your pelvis, and the tops of your feet. Maintain that as you start to draw the elbows back. Slowly peel up through the chest as if you're pushing a marble away with your nose, so that you lead with the sternum and don't just throw the head back. Feel the upper back working hard as you draw the palms back towards the feet. Stay here or float the feet off. Feet stay hip distance, inner thighs roll up slightly towards the ceiling. Keep the drawing of the lower belly. And then stay here, or as you exhale, start to hover the hands. So if you hover the hands and you lose the shoulders, they slump back down towards the floor. You're better off keeping the hands on the floor. 3 more breaths. And then either plant the hands for cobra or take them by the lower ribs, hug the elbows in, press down through the feet, lift the knees, inhale to upward dog. Sternum shines through the gateway of the shoulders. I'm really struggling with my words today, guys, I'm sorry. And then as you exhale, roll over the toes, downward dog. Look towards the hands, step the right foot forward on an inhale. Exhale, drop the knee, and then inhale, raise up to low lunge on the opposite side. So hook the opposite thumb in front if you remember what thumb you hooked last time, and think of drawing the thumbs apart from each other, opening up through the shoulders, sinking through the hips. Take one more inhale to lengthen here. And then as you exhale, bring the left hand down and either reach for your strap or for the foot, inside or outside of the right foot. Opening up through the right shoulder, thinking of drawing the left ribs towards the right knee. Wherever you are, I want you to think of drawing length through the crown of the head and through the tailbone. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, release the foot, come off the back knee, step all the way to the front. Inhale, raise all the way up, and then we take it on the other side. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg steps. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, just for a breath, raise the arms up, touch. Exhale, straight to plank. Hold the breath, lower all the way to the belly. This time, take the hands off the mat. Tent the fingers, elbows come up towards the ceiling, wide-armed cobra. Inhale, peel the chest off as you press down strongly through the feet, strongly through the pubic bone. Exhale, release. Inhale, peel up. This time as you exhale, look towards the left, drop the right shoulder, feel the stretch. Inhale, raise up through center. And then as you exhale, rotate towards the right, dipping the left shoulder. Inhale through center, one more each side. Exhale, look to the left. Both elbows stay pointing towards the ceiling. Inhale through center. Exhale, look to the right. Inhale, one more lift strongly through center, a little bit higher if you can. And then exhale, peel it down. Plant the hands, downward dog. Look forward, step the left leg on an inhale. Exhale, drop the right knee. Inhale, raise the arms up. And then exhale, plant the hands, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, raise the hands up. We'll take it through one time each side to the breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, plant the hands, step back plank. Hold the breath, lower to the belly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg steps. Exhale, lower the knee. Inhale, arms raise. Exhale, plant the hands, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, step to plank. Hold the breath, lower to the belly. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg steps. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, plant the hands, step to the top. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I apologize for all the berserk dogs that are barking in the background. We're going to take a camel pose in standing. So we're not going to go really deep to start with. Take your hands to your lower back as if you're putting your hands in your jean pockets and your elbows draw slightly together. Take an inhale, raise up through the sternum, and then as you exhale, start to peel yourself backwards as if you're folding over your hands. So I don't want you to shove your hips forward. I want your hips to stay above your ankles and think of reaching the sternum up to the ceiling. And if it's comfortable on your neck, you can slowly release your head back. Otherwise, keep it gazing in a neutral position. And take 2 more breaths here. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and then come back to standing. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, you're going to side bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, take the hands back to the lower back. Inhale, draw the elbows together. Exhale, start to peel yourself backwards for a second time. Think of lengthening the lower back with your hands as if you could draw the sacrum down towards the feet. Opening up through the shoulders. And as you exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, come to neutral. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, center. Exhale, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Inhale, broaden the collarbones. Exhale, forward fold. Forward fold. So again, think of those shoulder blades drawing onto the back as you open up through the fronts of the shoulders. So don't bring the hands so far overhead that you feel the shoulders crowding in towards each other. If you need to take a bend in the elbows, do so. And then exhale, slowly release the hands. Inhale, sternum reaches halfway lift. Exhale, step the right leg back. Keep the knee lifted. Inhale, raise up crescent. Same thing we've been doing here. Hook the thumbs, pull the thumbs apart. Feel the length in through the spine. Take a slight bend to the back knee and think of the frontal hip points drawing slightly towards the frontal ribs. Keep that and then start to straighten the back leg as much as you can. Sink a little deeper. On your next inhale, release the grip of the thumbs, palms face towards each other. Grow a little bit taller, maybe look up, maybe palms touch. And then exhale, plant the hands. Step back to plank. This time lower halfway or all the way down. Chaturanga. Inhale can be up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Look towards the hands, get really springy. Step or hop to the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the left leg back. Keep the knee lifted. And on your next inhale, raise all the way up. Crescent. Take a slight bend to that back knee. Draw those frontal hip points towards the ribs. Hook the thumbs. Think of pulling the thumbs apart. And then maintain all that length as you start to straighten through the back knee. Gentle squeeze of the inner thighs towards each other will help you maintain your balance. And then release the hook of the thumbs, palms face each other. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. Maybe look up, maybe palms touch, maybe a little back bend in the upper back. And then exhale, plant the hands, step it back, plank. Your choice, halfway or all the way. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Always feel free to skip vinyasas. Look towards the hands, step or hop. Creaky ankles. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, inhale, bend the knees, chair pose. So chair pose is actually a really great strengthener for the upper back. So again, I want you to hook the thumbs. You can see this is a theme we're rolling with today, but it really helps to access the upper back and the strength there. So try and bring your upper arms in line with your ears. If you're really stiff like me, they're not going to get there, and that's fine. Only go to the point where you don't feel the shoulders bunching up by the ears. Sink a little lower in your hips. Gently draw those frontal hip bones towards the ribs. Take 3 more breaths. You can keep the thumbs hooked, or you can release the palms towards each other. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sink for chair. And then this time you're going to bring the torso forward. So keep the bend in the knees, maybe bend a little bit deeper. And I want you to bring your torso parallel to the mat, almost as if you're going to rest your ribs on your thighs. Think of the tailbone extending backwards as you reach the crown of the head and the fingers forward. Should really feel the muscles in your upper back starting to work. So these are the muscles we want to engage in our belly back bends, in our standing poses. And then exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your choice, step to plank or jump to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Look towards the hands, step the right leg forward, plant the back foot for warrior one, heel to heel, and then inhale, raise all the way up, warrior one. So take a couple of breaths here, get your alignment, nice deep bend through the front knee, strong grounding through the back foot. And then on your next exhale, clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, broaden through the collarbones. And then exhale, fold it forward into humble warrior. And we'll hold here for 3 breaths. And a couple more breaths here in humble warrior, opening up through the shoulders. Inhale, leading with the sternum. Come all the way back up. Maybe add a little bit of a back bend, drawing the fists down towards the floor. And then exhale, release the hands, step it back. Your choice, downward dog or take it through vinyasa. Option to add a one-legged chaturanga. Look towards the hands, step the left leg up. Plant the back foot, line up for warrior one. Inhale, raise the hands up, warrior one. Take an inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, clasp the funky way, opposite finger, thumb on top. Inhale, broaden the collarbones. And then exhale, fold it forward, humble warrior. So you can either fold directly on top of the left thigh, or you can bring the shoulder to the inside of the knee. And then leading with the sternum, inhale, bring it all the way up. And maybe take it a little bit further, reaching the fists down towards the floor, opening through the chest. And then releasing the hands down to the floor. Step it back, plank for everybody, and then lower all the way onto the belly. Untuck the toes, bring the hands down by your sides. Palms are going to face up. And then just like we did before, press the feet into the mat so that the knees lift. Draw up the lower belly, press the pubic bone down, and then draw the shoulder heads away from the mat. And then on your next inhale, you're going to peel just the chest off. So think of pushing that marble away with your nose to really engage through the upper back muscles. And then use the pressing of your hands to push the sternum up a little bit further. Draw those shoulder heads away from the mat. Stay here or start to float the legs off. Thinking of length between the crown of the head and the toes. And then maybe stay here or start to float the arms. And then exhale, slowly release. Make a cushion with your hands, rest one cheek. And then bring your forehead back to the mat. This time interlace your fingers on your lower back or your sacrum. And then same thing, press the feet, lift the belly, draw the shoulder heads away. Inhale, peel the chest off. Stay here. Maybe reach the hands towards the back of the room if it doesn't cause your shoulder heads to drop. Exhale, lift the feet off if it's okay on your lower back. Use your inhales to grow longer and your exhales to lift a little bit higher. And then exhale, slowly release. Make a cushion, rest the other cheek. And then bring your feet mat distance apart. Turn your feet out so that your pinky toes are facing in the direction of the ceiling. And then you're going to take your arms out like a starfish. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, you lift everything up as if you're skydiving. So think of trying to get the wrists a little bit higher than the shoulders, and think of really driving through the pinky toe side of your feet. You should feel your glutes engage. And then exhale, make a pillow, rest the cheek. One more in this little strengthening series. So if you're in a small space like me, you're going to want to scoot yourself back a little bit on your mat so that you can stretch your arms directly out in front of you, shoulder distance apart, palms are facing each other. Bring the forehead down, press the feet, and then as you inhale, you're going to peel just the chest and the arms off. So feel the pubic bone really pressing down, feel really strong through the tops of the feet. Maybe stay here, or as you exhale, start to float the legs up. And then as you exhale, release, rest the cheek. So now we've cultivated all that strength in our belly. We're going to tie it all together for dhanurasana, floor bow. So you can stay with any of those variations or bend through both knees. Keep your feet hips distance apart. Reach back for the outsides of the ankles. And then if your knees came apart, draw them back to hips distance. Inhale, draw the shoulder heads away from the floor. And then as you exhale, press the feet strongly into the hands and use that to lift you up into floor bow. And you can play around with rocking backwards and forwards. Just try and keep your knees from splaying too far out. Gaze is neutral, where is comfortable. Three more breaths. And then exhale, slowly release. Make a cushion with your hands one more time. Maybe rock your hips from side to side. And just feel the energy that that big back bend brings. Your heart rate's probably increased. Slow your breathing, come back to your breath. Tuck the toes under. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Hug the elbows in. And then with the knees up or down, press into plank. And then exhale through downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And then as you exhale through the mouth, look towards the hands. Inhale, step the right leg forward, center it in the mat. Exhale, drop the left foot, line up heel to heel. And then inhale yourself into warrior two. So we're just going to do a couple of standing poses to kind of neutralize the spine before we go into some more back bends. Flip the front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, shift it forward, Bring the hand to the inside of the foot or the forearm onto the thigh and come into side angle. If your hand is on the inside of your foot, use that forearm to gently open through the hip. From here, exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the inside of the right foot. Walk the right foot to the right a little bit more and come into lizard pose. So you can be up here on your hands, you can drop the back knee. If you have the flexibility, you can drop onto the forearms. Maybe you have some blocks. Try and hug that right knee in towards your right arm, wherever you are. And shine the chest forward. You should feel a really nice opening in through the front of that left hip. So when we go into some of our deeper back bends that we're going to go into, you want to be really open through the front of those hips and really engaged and strong through the legs. Take one more inhale here and then exhale, drop the back knee, walk yourself up and scoot your back knee in so that it's underneath your hip, so you're pretty much in a proposal position. And then from here, if you know that you're super tight, feel free to grab your strap, loop it around the back foot. Otherwise, you're going to bend the left knee and reach back with the left hand. It's a little bit of a challenge on the balance. And you can either stay here and reach up with the right hand, or you can reach back with both hands. And if you've got the balance, you can start to open up through the shoulders, draw the shoulder heads back, and then start to look up towards the ceiling, bringing a little bit of a back bend into the upper back. And if you stack it, that's fine. It's just a yoga pose. And you come back in and you try again. And maybe today it's working for you, and maybe today it's not. And then wherever you are, exhale, come back to neutral, slowly release the foot, plant the hands, your choice, downward dog, or take it through a vinyasa to flush it out. And then inhale, step the left leg forward, center it in the mat, drop the back foot, and then open yourself up into warrior two. Not gonna lie, kind of forgot where we were going there. It's really just one of those days today. And then flip the front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. And then as you exhale, bring that hand either to the thigh or to the inside of the foot, gently using the forearm to open up through the left hip. And then the right hand is just going to stay neutral up towards the ceiling today. And then exhale, bring the hands both on the inside of the left foot. Take the left foot over to the left. And then come into your version of lizard pose. Knee up, knee down, on the hands, on the forearms. You might even just play around with walking the hands forwards and propping up onto your fingertips. Wherever you are, be very buoyant through that right leg. So don't just let the right hip drop down. You want to keep the hips nice and even. Reach the sternum forward and the heel backwards to feel the stretch. Feel free to move. You don't have to stay stationary. You can kind of rock forwards and backwards. Find the spots that feel good for you. And then bring the hands back under the shoulders. Drop the back knee and start to walk it in so that it's underneath the hip. Raise yourself up into a half kneeling position. And then grab your strap or take your hand and reach it for the right ankle as you bring the right heel towards the bum. stay here, or maybe reach the left hand up towards the sky, or maybe reach that left hand, grab around the right foot, and then maybe stay here, or challenge your balance and add a little back bend by starting to open the shoulders, reaching the sternum up towards the sky, and maybe taking the gaze up. Wherever you are, exhale back to neutral, and then slowly release the foot. Plant the hands, your choice. Take it through a vinyasa or straight to downward dog. Take an inhale here. Look towards the hands and you're going to jump or step to your knees. So get nice and springy and then jump and bring the knees down to the mat. So we're going to take intense toe stretch to start with. So tuck your toes under, and then you're going to have to probably manually tuck your pinky toes under. And then you're just going to rest back onto your heels. So if this is really, really uncomfortable for you, you can come out of a bit. You can put a pillow or a bolster or whatever you need to take a little bit of intensity off. But our feet are really neglected, and they play a really important role in most of the things that we do, so it's good to stretch them out. From here, we're going to do just what we did at the start. So hook your thumbs, keep that rib to hip connection, and then inhale, start to just raise the thumbs up overhead. And this is probably going to feel a little bit different to what it did in sitting. You can probably get a little bit further. And I want you to keep this length in mind when we start to go into our next back bends, into camel pose. And then exhale, slowly start to bring those hands down. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to come into camel pose. I'll grab a drink. So if you practice camel pose with a block, then feel free to put a block or a book in between your ankles if you know that your ankles tend to kick in towards each other. You want to keep your ankles hips distance apart, knees hips distance apart. We're going to start with our hands on our lower backs and our toes tucked under. So just like we did in standing, hands in jeans pockets, open up through the chest, elbows draw towards each other. And then as you inhale, you're going to start to reach the sternum towards the ceiling and then start to back bend. So as you back bend, you're going to gently nudge your hips forward so that they stay over your knees. We're going to keep our hands on the lower back for the first one. You can release your head back if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, keep your chin slightly tucked. 3 more. If you've released your head, slowly tuck your chin. Bring it all the way up on an exhale. And then sit your hips back onto your heels. So you don't have to come back into intense toe stretch. If you want to just come and sit on the tops of your feet, feel free. Let's take a couple of breaths. And then come back up onto the shins again. So make sure that your alignment's all good. Hips underneath, hips over knees, hips distance apart. There we go. This time we're going to take the hands to the heart center. So you can stay with the first variation if you want to. Take an inhale. Think of pushing the sternum into the thumbs as you start to peel back. And then same thing, the further you peel back, the more you're going to need to push those hips forward to keep them over the knees. And then draw the sternum up, up, up into the thumbs to keep the back bend in the upper back. And you can drop the head back if that's comfortable for you. And then to come out, slowly tuck the chin to the chest. And then as you exhale, come all the way to neutral, gently contracting through the abs, and then come to sit back on the heels. Slowing down the breath. And then we've got one more set. So you can take either of those variations. You can take a child's pose if you need a rest, or we're going to progress it. So you can reach back for the heels either with the feet tucked or the feet flat. I'm going to do it with the toes tucked because it's more comfortable for me. I prefer to start with the hands on the lower back, but you can start with them at the heart. Inhale, reach the sternum up, and then as you exhale, start to bend backwards, counterposing with the hips forward. And then you can either stay here or you can start to reach one hand at a time back to grab around the heels. And then opening up through the shoulders, arching through the upper back, maybe releasing the head. To come out, gently tuck the chin, and then exhale, release one hand at a time back to the lower back, gently drawing the abs, come all the way up to neutral, and then sit yourself back on your heels. Rest the palms up towards the sky, take a couple of nice slow inhales and exhales. Beautiful. And from here, we're just going to cross over the ankles, come to seated cross-legged. We're just going to take a twist before we go into some back bends lying on the back. So inhale, reach the arms up nice and tall. And then exhale, you're just going to twist towards the right side, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale takes you taller. Exhale, twist you a little bit deeper. Inhale, sweep the arms up through center. And then exhale, take it to the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up through center. And then exhale, bring them down to heart center. From here, you're just going to scoot yourself towards the front of the mat. Plant the feet hips distance. Reach the arms out in front of you. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly peel the spine down, segment by segment, all the way onto the back. And we'll set up for bridge pose. So you want your feet parallel, knees directly towards the ceiling. Don't have your feet too close. You want your knees pretty much over your ankles. Hands are down by the side. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, think ribs to hips as you peel the spine off segment by segment, rolling up onto the shoulders. And you can stay here with the hands, or you can interlace the hands underneath you. Again, drawing the shoulders onto the back, opening through the collarbones. And here I want you to play around with a couple of different things. So your legs are really important when we go into the bigger back bends like dhanurasana. So when you think of drawing your heels towards your bum and feeling the hamstrings kick on, and then release that, and then think of just pressing down through the feet. So think of stamping the heel down, and you should feel the hamstrings and the glutes contract. So think about having a $100 note in between your butt cheeks, and you don't want to let it go. And if you've got a grip with the hands, release it. Exhale, slowly roll down. And maybe windshield wiper your knees from side to side. So feel free to stay with bridge, otherwise we'll take it into dhanurasana, wheel pose. Same setup with the feet. inhale, take the hands up towards the sky, and then exhale, you're going to flip the hands over so that the fingers touch the top of the shoulders. Make sure that your elbows are pointing directly up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, come up onto the top of your shoulders. So if your elbows wanted to splay out, you're maybe not ready for this quite yet. You want to make sure that you can keep your elbows pointing towards the ceiling and your knees directly over the ankles, pointing forward. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to press into the hands, press into the feet, straighten the arms, and bring yourself up into wheel pose. And either bridge or wheel, we're going to take 5 more breaths. If you're in wheel pose, gently tuck the chin, start to bend the elbows, keep them neutral. Land on the back of the shoulders first, and then roll down. And take a couple of breaths here. We've got another round. So when you're coming down from wheel pose, make sure that the elbows don't shoot off to the side. You want to keep them facing directly parallel to each other. Take one more inhale. And then set yourself up either for bridge or for wheel again. So if you're coming into wheel, flip the hands. Inhale, come onto the shoulders. And then as you exhale, really strong through the legs, press it up into wheel pose. And then you can play around with your wheel pose. So you can stay here, or maybe you try and walk your wheel pose. So you take one hand and one leg forward up to the edge of your mat, and then walk it back down. Just, for funsies. Or maybe you just play around with taking one hand off, one leg off. Feel what feels good in your body. Wherever you are, take 2 more breaths. If you're in wheel pose, gently tuck the chin, land on the back of the shoulders, and then roll down through the spine. And then everybody bring your arms off to a cactus position. Just windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And then come back to neutral. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. And then draw the knees in towards each other. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, you're going to drop both of the knees over towards the left side. So you're using the left ankle as a bit of an anchor on the right knee to stretch out through the hip. Get a nice twist to release the spine, release the ITB. Gently draw down through the right shoulder to deepen the twist. Inhale yourself back to center. Exhale, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Draw the knees in towards each other. And then as you exhale, start to drop yourself over to the right side, gently drawing down through the left shoulder. Inhale yourself through center. And then bring yourself into happy baby. So maybe you just hug your knees in towards your shoulders, or reach for the outside edges of the feet or the big toes, drawing your thighs down towards the floor wherever you are. And think of the sacrum, the lower back, being really wide on the floor and the shoulders melting towards the floor. If you want a little bit more hamstring stretch, you can work around with straightening one leg and the other. And then think about the name of this pose. It's happy baby. It's not cranky adult. It's a very natural pose if you ever watch a child. And so feel the naturalness of this pose. Feel the calmness that it brings. From here, bring the soles of the feet together and come to rest in Supta Baddha Konasana, letting the knees fall out to the side, letting the arms come into a cactus or a capital T. Take any other stretches that you feel that you need before we start to make our way into Shavasana. We'll take one more final cleansing breath together. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, hold it at the top. And then let it go through the mouth. And then feeling the energy that your practice has brought you. Taking a moment of gratitude for your body and a moment to be proud of yourself for showing up, taking this time, giving it a go. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you have time for. Today, as you go forward, may you remember not everybody is perfect. May you have peace in your words if you can find them. And may you have gratitude and space in your heart. Namaste.